Hey guys, welcome to Casual Corner Chat. I am Luke.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Vu.
And today we'll be talking about found family. All right. So as you guys know, in the past, we have pretty much brought all our trauma onto this podcast. And Vu brought up a good point in one of our previous episodes about found family. Okay. And I think we all have our opinions about it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Vu, let's start with you first because you did bring it up.
Hang on. We're missing someone here. We're missing Sam.
Sam.
Sorry. No.
bad. Yeah, sorry.
She's busy today, but she'll be joining us on the next episode.
Yes. Sorry, my bad. My fault.
She has the most
Sorry,
healthy,
Sam. Luke forgot you.
Yeah, she has like the most healthy family relationship. So
Yeah.
her being exempt from this is not like the worst thing in the world either.
Yeah,
She's a
exactly.
happy, healthy
Yeah.
person, and we're not. So
But there are disadvantages onto only having us three, which we'll talk about in a second. But yes, Vu, you're the one that brought us this subject. So tell us, what is your definition of found family?
found family is the group of people that you choose to be in your life. Like you're not bonded by the necessity to be there because you're like by blood. It's people who you choose, and it's not just you choosing them. It's like they choose you to be part of their clan as well. You know, so it's a sort of deeply emotional type of bond that adults sort of do.
But do you think does that mean you've exited yourself from like your blood family?
Like typically, like if you have a like healthy blood family, then there's no need really to found like a found family.
So you can't have.
Yeah. So does that mean you can't have one or the other? Like you can't.
Not. I mean, I think you can still have both, but it's usually born out of like trauma. You know.
Oh, yeah.
But it depends on how you define your friends, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so you have your family relationship is fine. Is your friendships with your friends that intimate that you would require something out of them that you're looking for inside a family, you know? Or is it sort of, there's something missing from your blood family that you're looking for out there? And if it's the latter, then it's sort of like definitionally, it comes from a place of like, I need something that I'm not getting from the people that are there, and so I'm gonna go out and find it.
Damn, not gonna lie, that's a solid answer. That's like a dictionary answer.
Yeah, because I'm sad, bro. Like, I know, man. Like,
All right. What about you, Jenny? What is your definition of found family?
Well, we just gave the textbook answer.
But like, I know the textbook answer, but so what does found family mean to you in better ways?
Finding your safe space in people that you can't seem to find with the people or the family that you were born into. I think. Yeah, that's
Okay. My understanding,
TLDR for his answer.
Fair enough. My understanding of found family is just that you're able to just be there for each other, like you said, safe space, and it's just I feel like it's not. This is not 100% correct, but I feel like it's an unbreakable connection. That's what my idea of it is. Like you're there for each other and all that. And I feel like media plays a huge role of displaying that because we see a lot of, especially sitcoms. I feel like sitcoms does it the best, right? It's about a bunch of people meeting each other, staying together, and they grow and learn, and they're able to improve each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even at the worst of times, correct each other. All right. Especially if someone's going the wrong way, someone can come in and say, hey, that's not right. Okay, look at yourself, this and that. Yeah, and I feel that compared to a blood relationship, it's a bit different because you're basing it off from nothing, while blood is blood, right? Does it make sense? Because found family, you're literally finding them and you're starting off with nothing, while blood...
It's like an obligation.
Yeah,
right?
It's obligation.
Yeah.
Like you work on it, you know it's starting from nothing, and that's, to me, what the beauty of it is.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. According to the internet, a found family is a group of people who are not related by blood but support and care for each other like a normal family. Found families are also known as chosen families or family of choice. Yeah, that's a pretty solid definition.
Sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. So the next question on the list is, can you identify these people? In your life, can you identify this found family?
Do you want us to name them?
Name them, yeah. Name them. Name them. Call out to them. Shout out. We will tag them, and then they'll be forced to share us. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, so a lot of these people are from my high school. So like at a particular time in my life when I think I really needed a found family, really. The names are Tawny, Nadja, Michael. These are, like 4 really important people to me.
I was invited to the wedding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, we get to meet them. We're gonna interrogate them.
And then through extension of Tawny, Taylor, his partner as well, is in there. We basically lived with each other for a year during the pandemic.
Oh, so they're the one from Auburn.
Yeah. So Michael wasn't there because he was still living with his parents at the time. But like that was the main group, basically.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. What about you, Jenny?
You shy?
No. I'm just trying to think, like, actually, I had this thought today where I was like, I feel like I want more friends because for some reason I don't even know if I would maybe like consider if I have like a really close knit of friends.
I actually thought the same. Like, even though I have, not to take over, but like, even though I have a lot of friends, I wouldn't consider it as a found family. I have these important friendships individually. It's not as a collective group.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Yes, it's like,
Yeah.
does it make sense?
Yeah.
You can have strong relationship with one person at a time, but as together, if I collected all of them together, not all of them are friends with each other. Not all of them know each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like
That's a hard thing.
A found family has to be all interconnected with each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you have your school group.
Yeah.
And what, like, I forgot their names. I only remember Michael.
It's-
Michael?
yeah.
Anyways, Michael can be like cool with any of those other guys without you being there.
Yeah.
Right. So I can't think of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is interesting. So you guys can identify the need for a found family within yourselves, but cannot specifically point to a collective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
right?
interesting.
Because that's
Okay.
what a found family is, right? You can create a found family with 2 people and build upon that by increasing the amount of numbers within that group.
Yeah.
Example of I love one and then starting a family. Make that as a found family. That's an example of found family.
Yeah.
Right. But I've lost my point. But that's the whole idea, right? You can start with one strong relationship and build more and interconnect.
Yeah.
But having a bunch of single relationships is not a found family. It's just being interconnected.
that's true.
Connected. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think even further to that point, I don't know if my closest friends will actually have my back. Like a family would. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. So are you guys afraid to sort of confirm this with these people? Like, you know, your friends right now that you have this feeling towards, that they're very special. Would you have your back? Would you have their back in the, at the drop of a hat in the way that a family would?
Yeah, probably.
For me, some of them would. Individually, yes.
And you feel like that's not reciprocated, that feeling?
Okay.
Well,
I
my
think
one.
Luke is okay. Like you are okay with like you would trust them that they
Yeah,
would have
I
your
would
back.
trust them, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's like at some points I've asked for favors and like I've asked for help and they've been like, no, and that's disappointed me.
Okay.
And then I've learnt that I can't fully trust this person with like if I in need of something. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wow. So there has been a demonstrated time in which they can't reach the emotional requirements that you have. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not for a lack of not confirming. Like you just don't, it's not that you don't know, it's that you do know that they won't be there.
Well, maybe not like emotional support in that kind of way, or maybe it was like, maybe it was like, I want to hang out with them, but they didn't have time for me. Like I needed them in that time.
Did you
And then
effectively
they were like-
communicate how much you needed them at that time?
Probably not so much.
Yeah,
either.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
still,
yeah,
like
yeah.
even the small details, like, hey, I need something as well. Sometimes even if it's accumulated up,
Yeah.
you realize that like time, even with small things, if they're not there for me, it's just
Yeah.
a sign, right? It's a sign.
I mean, yeah, but like sometimes people don't think about it in that way, right? They don't think about it as the accumulation. It's just the individual moment. I know
Yeah.
I do, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I don't care about the person any less. And other people
Yeah.
have their own interiority in their lives. So like maybe in that moment they're busy, but if they know you need them a lot, then they'll make the time.
Which
right?
I agree with, and I should be more clear
Yeah.
with my communication, like when I actually need them and
Well,
how.
yeah, clarity is one, but like vulnerability is the other thing. Like that you have to be at that level and like bare your soul a little bit just to sort of like
Yeah, of
see if
course.
someone would reflect that as well.
Of course, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have different understandings, which is interesting. But yeah, so compared to our own definitions of found family and our real found families, how is it different to normal family for you guys? Remember, we have touches, but for our audience, our listeners, let's do a recap. So,
Jenny.
Oh, well, I think first of all, it would be like easier to understand each other within a found family. Obviously, there's like generational barriers, language barriers, and like our actual DNA family,
yeah.
Yeah.
which make it obviously harder to understand each other. And yeah, so I think being able to, and like with a found family, everyone's like sort of the same age, everyone can speak English very well, so we can all understand each other like emotionally and like on that kind of level as well.
Right. For me, you guys, listeners, have probably heard the attachment style app, but there's a disconnect between myself and my family, and there's a more of a connect with my found family, and
So you have a found family.
oh, I just say found family. It's just
Okay.
Yeah,
Your friends.
I'm just thinking
Yeah.
of my friends.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
even though
yeah,
it's like I said,
It's not a collective.
it's not
yeah,
collective. I see it ideally as just my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, do you feel about these people as if they're family, but like individually? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So, in other words, let's say this: found family. Okay, if I send a group message to everyone, like I need you, they'll all come running.
Yeah.
and they understand, like, okay, all of us, let's go help.
Yeah.
Luke, whatever.
Okay.
But it's just like
Those people wouldn't hang out
with each other
with each other in that
unless
group.
I was in
Right,
me.
okay.
Yeah. Does
So
that make sense?
your brothers from another mother type situation.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much
Okay,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Okay,
that.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
But yeah, so that's the difference between thing, right? Yes, I understand family. You technically spent more time with your family, with your friends, right? Because you live together, and with parents, all that, like they brought you into the world and all that, and whatnot, and they have that over you.
Yeah. The guilt and obligation of being an Asian
I
child.
hate that.
Yes,
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
I came out and I was like, hey, you're welcome.
Yes, but borderline, they did like provide a roof over your head,
Yeah,
food
yeah,
and
yeah.
all that, and it's not like our found family has given that yet. I don't know about you, but like our families haven't been put in a situation where they had to do that for us and whatnot.
Yeah.
and they haven't done that big of a sacrifice compared to your blood family.
Yeah.
And that's
To be fair, they also didn't choose to birth you.
Yeah.
Like that's a different thing as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, that's how I see it as well. So there are pros and cons to each side, but I do prefer my found family because I do feel safer. Yeah, safer.
yeah.
Safer is the best
Yeah,
answer.
yeah. I think that's the thing, man. Like we're all looking for that. And I guess if you don't feel if that's what's missing in your life and that's what you're searching for, you would find that comfort in those people, right? Yeah, and Jenny's right. Like typically, found family is like built on a uniting thing. It's big in the LGBTQ community. If you could imagine,
Of course. Yeah,
like
I can
parents
see
like
that.
coming out, parents kicking you out, and you join a house. It's called like the house of something. You know what I mean? And it's basically like a house of just like trans people. And then like if you aren't accepted by your family, you sort of find a house to sort of like go and be in. And now like
Wait,
it's,
is this a physical house or is it like a
it's like a,
like a
you know,
Facebook group kind of thing?
No, it's like a clan of X. You know what I mean? It's like a it's like
I
a
see.
it has like a if you think of it like a house with a crest and all that sort of shit. You know what I'm
It's like a frat house.
Kinda.
But it's not a physical. Sorry.
It's sometimes it is. Sometimes it is.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, like it's like a physical house. Like, hey, wayward people come through and like have a house, because in that particular situation, those people are usually removed from their homes, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's like, hey, like you can just crash here, type of thing, and then you become one of the house. So that's a pretty common thing. And in that particular case, you're united by being part of the LGBTQI like group, right? And in my particular case, it was high school friends and stuff like that. We all turned out the ways that we did, but like united in that particular front. And if it's like based on that, then you just would have more similarities than you would with like generational parents and stuff like that. Your biological family, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize your found family were all.
Of the persuasion.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
Michael is not, but yeah, everyone else is their own specific little flavor.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Damn, it's crazy. Okay, no, it's good. Okay, so let's change it a bit. What's your favorite TV show or movie that has found family?
Can I go first? Because I only have one, and I don't want you guys to say it.
Go. All right.
It's
Say my one.
Friends.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Friends, yeah, of course. Yeah, go explain why you love it so much. Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that they all found each other in a cafe, and they all hang out in that cafe, and like they
Every day,
It's
right?
like. It's kind of like in high school when like you'd go to the library after school and hang out there. That's kind of like the same thing. Like you can just rock up to this one place, and then you'll just know like someone's there. Or like if they're not there, you can like just wait for them to be there soon. That's so comforting.
That's
right?
actually so true.
And it's like it's only
What the fuck?
and like it's only like how many are there? Like 5, 6 of them, right?
6 of them.
There's 6 of them, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's such a small group, and it's just so nice.
Yeah, you're so right. Like, I don't really care about Friends, but like that's not how I looked at it at all.
Okay, interesting.
Because like you would know, you were a regular, so you would know like the waitress and like the person and stuff like that. Yeah, that's true.
It's like a second home.
For real, like a third space, right? Like that's kind of what it
Exactly.
is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we kind of don't have that anymore.
Yeah,
you know?
we don't.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And
like back in
yeah.
those days, you can head to a cafe and like pay $1 for a coffee and just
Yeah.
like sit there and chill.
Yeah.
And now it's like if you leave your house, it's like $40.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's like no space that we could just go and hang out with a group of
Yeah.
friends, really. I mean, like, do you hang out like with your found family? Do you like all happen to go chill at one person's
I haven't
place
seen
a
them
lot?
in a long time.
Oh, okay.
So that's my
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
my
I have
difference.
stuff to say about that as
Yeah.
well. So we'll get to that. But anyways,
Yeah,
continue
we'll,
on.
yeah,
Oh,
we'll,
oh.
we'll discuss that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like before it was like they were my roommates, right? So it's just I walk out the door and then like there's my friend drinking coffee. I was like, sweet, I'll sit down and like I'll chill in the morning with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really comforting.
Yeah. No,
that does
I
sound
wish I had something like that
Yeah.
sort of.
Fair enough. What about your TV show?
New Girl.
Okay.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New
Okay.
Girl was pretty
It was
solid.
like
yeah.
Zoe Deschanel, like the
Yeah.
quirky
Yeah.
millennial type stuff. But like the show wasn't good then. The show became good when it started like focusing on like the group ensemble.
Yeah.
So like the guys there.
Yeah.
And then because like just slowly over time, like her shtick got old, right? Like the whole oh my god, the mustache type. And then the more you focus on like Nick, who is like grumpy old man, and then like
Dysfunctional bit,
Schmidt,
yeah.
which is like high key like gay coded, and then Winston, who's just like a wild card. It's just like it's
Love
better
Winston.
as an exactly.
Winston's so cool.
It's so weird, right? But God
I don't know
bless.
if you remember the episode where he didn't realize he was colorblind until one point.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
true.
But anyways,
There was one episode where he like tried to get his cat to have sex with another lady cat, but the owner of the cat didn't realize. Like she thought
Yeah,
that they were
that was
hooking
just-
up,
yeah,
but then he
yeah.
just wanted the cats to. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
weird. But yeah. It's so dumb.
so much of it's gonna like bleep out. But anyways, yeah.
But yeah, it's just how they like came together and filled out each other's like what they were missing, like emotionally speaking. And then like it's just kind of being a little unit navigating life and like
Yeah.
adulthood.
And is it also, do they also go to like her apartment and like hang out, like just randomly
They live together.
They lived together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it became just a normal spot because even though some of them moved out, they'll still go
Yeah.
to
They'll
that
still go
spot.
back.
Yeah. So that's the same with friends, right? They will
Yeah.
just all go
Yeah,
into.
sure.
Yeah.
And kind of
other's
that reflects
apartments,
my
yeah.
living situation at the time as well. So like, it was just nice.
Yeah.
What about you?
My one, I was thinking about anime at first because animes do it a lot, right? Because they're like collective. Like One Piece is a perfect example. I don't know if you watch
Okay,
anime.
yeah, One Piece is a perfect example.
Yeah.
You're right.
I didn't watch One Piece.
But anyway,
Make your case.
the idea is a group of people all special in their own way, and they literally become a family. Like I can't remember what word, the Japanese word for crew or family, whatever. But anyways, the whole idea is that they join together and they don't care about each other's faults, even they get into fights about it.
Yeah.
And then there'll be times where there'll be character arcs where, like, let's say one of them is struggling and they all band together to save that person, protect that person.
Because they're united to find the One Piece.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
right. That is right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
10 points for you
Yeah.
for not knowing, but still got it.
Yeah. But I think Luke was saying in one of the arcs,
Yeah.
I think, or did they each have their own arc where one of them like disappears somewhere and like they get
Sometimes,
like,
yeah.
captured and then they have to like
Save it.
the rest of them have to save
Yeah. I think the big
sounds
one.
fun.
Nico Robin. I think that
Yeah,
one.
Robin.
Yeah.
Robin was captured and arrested, and the entire crew literally declared war on the state government, like burning the flag. It's like, we're gonna save her. She's out. She's like our family. We're protecting her and all that. And they full raid the entire government base and declare war.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't know you were such a big One Piece fan.
I watch
well-
it like casually and read it casually.
How many thousands of episodes are you in? Like,
I haven't watched the newer stuff. I just read.
okay.
I read.
Okay.
It's only 8 pages a week. I'm happy to.
Oh, only 8 pages a week
or 12
per chapter.
12, yeah,
Is that
12.
how manga works? Is that?
Yeah, 12 pages a week.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense though, because there's
Yeah.
a lot of drawing for
Yeah,
a week.
exactly.
Yeah, okay,
Exactly.
fair enough.
They get underpaid as well.
Yeah,
But
okay.
yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that's kind of stuff. But another thing I wanted to say about these TV shows, to be honest, I think it also kind of screwed up my perception of friendships. Like I love sitcoms, like
Yeah.
Friends, How I Met Your Mother,
Yeah.
and all that. I watched it as a kid, and it just gave me an ideal
Yeah.
version of how friends should be. And I realize now, or a while ago, that it put like Friends on a pedestal. Like that's why I value it so much.
Yeah.
And sometimes when people don't meet up to that standard, I get hurt easily.
I think that's the same. That's what I'm feeling when I was talking about earlier.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that too. Like, I
Yeah.
completely understand what you're saying. The
Yeah.
romanticized version of a friend that will be there for you all the time, always. But that's
exactly.
not what reality
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And I don't know, that just, and then TV does it so well. Like they create this image of like brotherly love,
Yeah.
that bond that you have. And also, I think it affected my bucket list because one of my things on my bucket list is find the perfect hangout space. Right?
Yeah.
like
Your
the cafe.
Paddy's Pub, the Central Park Cafe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just finding a place where everyone can rock up and just chill.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter like who comes in and out. Right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that just created
I mean, that's
my
highly
idea.
dependent on the people that you hang out with.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Because you gotta form a big enough trust. You're like, oh, here's a key, and you can just come in whenever you want, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I don't know. That's how I see it, and yeah, it's nice with how the media shows it, and I feel also like, especially growing up as like a teen, you try to find meaning in certain areas of life, and sitcom was like a safe space and all that. It made you feel like hopeful.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what could things
Yeah,
be
man.
like?
Yeah.
Any problems like wraps up by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
If it
Yeah.
doesn't, it's only a few arcs, a few
Yeah.
episodes arc,
Wait, so do you think the sitcom romanticized version of friendship is what you have now?
Wait.
You said you looked up to like you looked up to those friendships on the sitcoms, but now with your friends, do you feel like you've achieved that?
No.
Okay.
No. Because I feel like at one point I was like, yeah, I'm never going to hit that point. Or
Yeah,
I feel
right,
like
'cause
it's
unrealistic,
impossible.
yeah.
It's really
Yeah, okay.
unrealistic. So I have accepted those terms.
Well, I don't think Friends is unrealistic in in terms of like the way that their friendship dynamic is. I mean, I don't think they have their back all the time.
I guess
It's just more so.
that's true. I'm like thinking of Friends as a, as a whole.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Like, yeah.
I mean, I guess
Friends isn't perfect.
Their
We all know
relationship
it.
isn't as intense, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As let's say something that How I Met Your Mother would be. But I think that could be speaking to a bit of a generational thing. Like Friends was from the 90s, you know, and then How I Met Your Mother's from the 2000s, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And that whole dynamic is completely different.
Yeah. And even now, like to this day, it's like from How I Met Your Mother to now, like people frown upon
Yeah.
like certain things, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like looking back, like Ted is an asshole. You know
Yeah,
what I
Ted's
mean?
an
Like, he's a
asshole.
bad guy.
Barney like does, you know,
Highly suspect things and
yeah,
should
and
be in
then
jail.
Robin just being a homewrecker.
Really? I need to rewatch How I Met Your Mother.
yeah, it's mad different.
Yeah, you'd be
Like,
like,
it completely watching that, and then like it completely informed the way that I viewed like not women, but like people that I would have a crush on at the time, to be like this object that you like chase after, you know, regardless of like
because
how they
he
think
was
and
the
feel and
epitome
shit.
of don't take no as an answer.
Yeah,
Of Barney.
Yeah, Barney.
no, Ted, bro.
Oh, both.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean Barney in a
Barney got the yes, and
the yes eventually,
everyone
but-
wanted to be Barney until they found out that Neil Patrick Harris was actually gay. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I remember back then they're like, what?
I don't know if he came out. But I think it was a bit of a satire, like casting a gay guy in
Yeah,
that
like he didn't
heterosexual
come out until a
role.
while, and then
Yeah,
towards
okay.
the end, everyone found him like, what, really?
I don't think that matters so much. But like Robin turned Ted down, like literally,
Yeah.
like
I remember
date
that.
2, and then the next 8 years was just him trying to get her
Oh,
still.
yeah, as well.
It's weird.
But did he like actively chase her?
He actively chased her
was
as
it like-
often as the plot needed him to,
Yeah.
which was like every season and a half, maybe.
Yeah, it'd be like
Oh,
back and
Robin again, you know, that type of
forth.
thing.
And Robin doesn't paint a good picture dating both two people from the
Yeah,
found
yeah,
family,
shit.
which isn't that great as
Yeah,
well.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But Rachel did that too in Friends.
Yeah, Rachel. Yeah, but Rachel is
Yeah.
Rachel.
Now this is just none of this is real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
like
But anyways,
at season 5, you run out of
Oh,
ideas.
yeah. All right. Anyways, continue on. But yeah, that's just what my thoughts about Found Family.
Wait, have you guys ever dated within the friendship group? Have you guys?
That's
have you guys ever
strictly
done
number. Or, nah, never.
it? Never. Yeah,
Never.
Yeah. So, what about you, Jenny?
Wait, but you don't have a friendship group.
That's why I was like,
Even
never.
younger,
No,
even
it's
younger,
my- it's
high
my-
school as
no,
well.
I went to all guys school.
Still allowed. That's fine. That's
No. But yeah, like no, never. Because I think I mentioned this in part. Like when I become friends with someone, I automatically friend zone them because I'm like, oh, I really want to be your friend.
Interesting.
Yeah. So in my mindset, it's like I'd rather be your friend, and every like romantic feelings is kind of cut off. Yeah. So I'd rather be a friend, and you know my people pleasing ways and all that. I'm like, oh, it's like how can I help you? What can I
Okay.
do?
So
And
if you
all that.
date someone, it's like I have to look
It
at
has to
them
be
for
like,
dating.
yeah, like right away, I have to make a decision. Like, do I want to date her? If not, then just friends. We say friends. Like, it
And so
doesn't cross
right
my mind.
now, there's no one in your life that you think would work out if you dated them.
I can't think of that right now. I think I'm still in the recovery stages.
yeah.
So
and you
that's
still
like,
need them as a friend, is that right?
yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, oh, I enjoy the company. Nice, but
Wait, so do you every time you meet a girl, do you like dating or friends? Is that what you think of in the beginning?
But honestly, like 99% of the time, it would just be friend.
Okay.
Like, that thought really wouldn't come to me.
You haven't met anyone that has defined that before? Like,
Nah, not really. It'll be something like sometimes also being the case where it's like, oh, she's pretty cute. And then someone else introduces like, oh, you're that friend. And then it's like, oh, this and that. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. But also, if it's a friend of a friend, also, you know, cut off.
okay, yeah, you wouldn't date a friend,
Yeah.
a mate's friend or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I wouldn't also date a mate's friend.
That's
What? Why not?
I don't
yeah.
know.
Mitchells are okay.
Mitchell's, then it'll be like the whole thing how it's like if you two dated, right, I can't pick sides. I have to be neutral. I don't want to put a friend in that situation if we break up.
But what if like Jenny sets you up with someone, like a friend of her?
Yeah. I also feel uncomfortable like putting her in any kind of situation where like she would have to hear us bitch about each other to her and all that.
I think you're overthinking it.
Yeah,
I am. Well, that's just how I am.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yes.
interesting.
But then you've excluded so much of Sydney because I don't know how many mutuals of mutuals.
Yeah,
That's
there
true.
are.
Like,
Yeah,
like everyone knows each other through the ninth circle, or what it is.
Yeah, something like that.
From a friend,
Yeah.
all to the ninth degree.
But for you, it's like the third circle probably, and you have all of Sydney covered, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's
So you got to
true.
move in to stay. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah,
bro?
yeah. Time to move and explore the rest of the world. Europe, you guys. Europe.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Anyways, we got an off topic.
Wait, we were talking about something. We asked
yeah.
Luke the
Space
question. Okay, no, you can go.
Yeah, keep going, keep
I
going.
forgot. Damn. Okay. Anyways, so we just talked about found family in TV shows and whatnot, and I think this is how it led just like dating within the circle.
Yeah,
that's
but
what I was talking about.
no, but it's more that like sitcoms gave you a distorted view of what friendships.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. On to the next question. So, what are the disadvantages of a found family? Okay. Because I realize. Go.
Rude.
Go.
DNA, obviously. Like, you don't know if they can. How does DNA work?
As in, if you
What
need an
if-
organ,
like,
they
yeah.
can't give it to you.
Exactly.
Harvest an organ, right?
Organ matching and like
You need a blood transfusion,
it?
like that
Can you
can't
tell
be
us
there.
a blood type
bone
before
marrow,
we
like
go?
bone marrow transplants, that
form.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I've seen it like firsthand, but sometimes found family, depending on who you pick, it can become an echo chamber, right? So an example is I've seen an incident where this person, right, was doing something very, very toxic. And all their friends were like, no, do it. Don't care about anyone else. You can do whatever you want. Like, do whatever you want. Sleep whoever you want. And I'm like,
Oh, okay.
that person's really cheating on someone. It's like, you're supporting that? Like, I don't understand. So does that make sense?
You are who you surround yourself with.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's,
I need we'll put a pin in that one, but yeah, we'll come back to it.
No, don't put it.
No, we'll
Pin
put
on
a pin
it,
in
that's
that.
fine.
No, I have a question. Yeah, not that specifically, but then like being able to be friends with someone who like has cheated or is a cheater. Like being friends with someone with that, like being friends with them is okay. Being partners with them is bad, right?
wait, being partners with him?
Yeah, like as in inside of a context of a friendship, that friendship sweet or good. In the context of a relationship with that person, not good. Like they're a toxic person to be in a relationship with for some reason, or they have a flaw, within their personality, right? And is it okay to still be friends with them because being friends with them doesn't include, dating them, so you don't have to worry about them cheating on you. Do you know what I mean? As an example.
Did they cheat on you in the relationship or did they cheat on you previously in a
No, let's say
different
they've
relationship?
cheated on their partners, right?
Oh, okay.
But then, like, I'm just friends with them,
Oh,
and it's a good friendship,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like, can I still be friends? Like,
Yeah,
should
of
I still
course.
be friends with that
No,
person?
okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
removing
Yeah.
those like
Yeah.
spheres, right?
Yeah. But yeah.
that's a thing that I'm like
Okay.
exploring.
Okay, fair enough.
you're
But yeah.
exploring. Wait.
Yeah, no, just like okay, no, I'm not doing anything sus, but like
Should we be careful?
no, bro, I'm getting married to a partner I really care about, so it's fine. Don't worry about it.
We gotta keep one eye open for him.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, but yeah, like it's like if you surround, like you said, if you surround yourself with bad people, they're gonna motivate you to do bad things,
Agree.
right? So that's where the danger is sometimes in found families.
Yeah.
Just like echo chamber. That's how I see it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys agree? Disagree on that?
No, 100% agree.
Completely,
Like,
yeah.
If you surround yourself with people that like cheat or go clubbing, drinking, smoking, doing drugs, all that kind of thing all the
Not
time.
that those things are just bad, but
to
like,
like extremes. We're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
huge extremes.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
obviously, like you feel. I mean, the friend feels more compelled to like do those kinds of things as well, right? So
yeah.
it depends on like whether their partner is comfortable with like those kinds of things, right? As well.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, that's true.
Before Vu, you give your answer. Me being an instigator, is that bad or good? Because I will like, oh, one last drink, have another one. And it's like, all right, is it?
I think
I think it's okay.
at this age, it's like you should just let people do what they want to do.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
But like instigator, like early 20s is fine.
okay, good to know.
Yeah, I think if you pose one, like the first question, and
Yeah.
people are like, yeah, sweet, I'm down,
Yeah.
then that's fine. If you push, then that's like
Okay.
X-nay, right?
Okay.
But then I think the infrequency at which people get together these days and have opportunities for you to instigate, I think that's like sort of okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, noted.
That's
All
my
right.
thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Your turn.
Kind of to Jenny's point a while ago, it's like found family, because they're not your biological family. Like it's kind of like getting married to someone, and like you're more like the discussion between, you're more likely to work out your problems. Let's say like a long-term partner versus someone that you marry, right? So you don't get married in the other situation. And so are you more likely to work out problems because you're sort of obligated to by virtue of being married to each other, that your lives are tethered in this way? And so are you more likely to sit down and try to make it work than someone who is theoretically has more options to leave? And so in a sense, does your found family, are they like, they're less biologically obligated to like help you out in those moments? So the drive is different, right? The motivation is
Yeah.
different. It has to be like pretty strong, I guess.
Right.
But like you gotta have multiple people meeting you at that level, which is pretty difficult. You know.
Okay. Yeah. I see.
So I guess that's like one possible con, right? There's less of an obligation for them to be like, okay, let's like help and like deal with you and deal with this situation with you, you know.
Interesting. So, I don't know. I just thought up of a point.
Wait, hang on. Sorry. But then why would you still consider them found family if they wouldn't?
Well, think about it this way, right? Like, as an example, let's say, I know you don't have a sibling, but let's say you had a sibling, and then they are addicted to drugs, unfortunately,
Yeah.
right? And then you have a friend who's addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
Which one are you more likely to help out to a degree that is, I guess, what the person needs, but also probably at a disadvantage to you?
Well, it just depends on my relationship with my sibling versus my friend.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Are you saying I have to choose one or the other?
Well, yeah. You know, like a friend who like has walked down that road and has gone a little bit too far. I think it's easier to sort of like, I can't hang out with you. I can't be around you,
Oh, yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
And
As
then for your
opposed
family, you
to
have to stay there.
a
to help
biological
out. Yeah,
brother.
okay.
It's like you can cut them off, but the consequences of that are like
Yeah.
more.
Okay. No, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
Xing a friend.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know.
Because it can also affect your parents and all that.
Yeah,
as well,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
Interesting point. Now, here's a different twist, kind of twist to that. But let's say having a foster family, all right? You foster a kid, right? And then you decide to have your own family along with a foster parent. The needs of the kid that you have compared to the kid that you foster, that's different, right? That will be entirely different because that's technically a found family with a blood one.
No,
Yes or
I
no?
would disagree with that.
So the needs of the fostered kid is different to the needs of the biological child.
No, like ideally, like you're literally comparing a foster family to having an actual biological family. Yeah? Does that
I
make
wouldn't
sense?
treat them differently.
Treat them different. You wouldn't treat
I
them
wouldn't.
different?
I wouldn't treat
because
them
everyone's like I've talked to people who have had kids, and then sometimes it's hard to have a connection with someone that isn't biologically yours, and that's what I'm trying to think of in this case. Like if I had foster a kid, like let's say a baby, and I actually have my own kid, and then I think I don't know, maybe media has displayed this, but sometimes the foster kid gets overshadowed by the actual needs of other kid. I mean, it happens between
it's a thing that
siblings,
happens,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you guys, like, you guys want to understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
still wouldn't because obviously it'll create like some weird power dynamic between the
Yeah,
fostered
of
kid and
course.
the actual biological kid, and I
But
just
do
feel
you think
bad.
personally you would have, so you said,
Even personally, I would not treat
yeah,
the two kids
yeah,
any different.
yeah.
I wouldn't treat them differently, although do know that the adopted kid is someone whose needs are different to the biological kid. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to reassure them essentially that like
That they won't be abandoned and
Yeah,
whatnot.
like if they
Yeah.
know that they're adopted, that like you got to kind of reassure them that like you love each child equally, you know, equally in the same way that you may not do for the biological child.
But then you need to show that you love them equally. as
Yeah,
well,
but
right?
sometimes
Yeah.
like verbally telling the kid is also helpful.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
agree.
it's like
I feel
verbally
if-
apologizing
yeah.
rather than giving them a
Yeah.
plate of fruit. You know what I mean?
But
like,
I feel like, I feel like actions do speak louder than words, even especially in kids. Like kids will definitely remember the actions. Well, I guess words will help.
yeah, like I
But I do think-
I know as a kid I needed to hear the word sorry. You know what I mean? So like that's you know.
Yeah.
Again, plate of fruit's
yeah,
gonna
you're
cut
right.
it. You know what I mean? Like that for me, anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got to do both, right? You can't just do
Yeah.
one or the other
Yeah.
for kids.
Agree.
Yeah, no, just like because just for a blink, like a very small moment, just when thinking about that situation for myself, I felt myself waver. I'm like, it's on my bucket list to be a foster parent. And
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah. Yes, another one on the bucket list. Yeah. This is up there. This is the original bunch.
Brother.
This was the original bunch. Yeah.
No.
This is the OG numbers, not the newer numbers. Yeah.
Oh wait, so you don't have this? Oh, I mean like
It's
from
already
like
on
top
there.
100 or something.
Top
like-
100. Yeah,
okay.
not in the 100 to 200.
Wow, so it's been something that you wanted to do for a very long time.
Yeah, because at one point I was just like, I was thought about this. This is before I got into my previous relationship. It's like, I rather not have a kid, mainly because the world is such an effed up place already. And like, there are so many kids who like gone through traumatic experiences with their family and whatnot, and they need someone to be a guide and all that. And I'd rather be that guide for them. Yeah.
Oh.
And I'd rather not bring a kid into this world, into this effed up world.
Yeah.
I would rather save one that's currently here.
Yeah, I mean that's in line with, you know, your mentoring. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then that's a lot of work for you.
It is. But yeah, I feel like
What if your partner wants a biological child?
once in a while, what you
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, like this was in my past. Yeah.
Okay,
This was in
right.
my past, but it's still like I still would want to. And if they want a biological child, then sure, why not?
But then would you also foster a kid? Or is that
I
just
still
like
would want to. I still
Yeah,
would want to,
okay,
honestly,
okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah, like it will be a discussion that we would have to.
I think fostering and adopting a kid are two different things
Yeah,
though.
fostering comes first, and it's in the process of like just taking care of them for the time being.
Yeah.
Seeing if they're all right, what they do, if they want to be adopted by you, that's cool. Yeah.
Right, but then you can also outright adopt someone as well. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
a bigger process.
Yeah.
Fostering, I don't know, saying easier process. You get vetted and all that, and you can get rotated kids in and out.
Yeah, fostering is more of a temporary situation. Is that right?
It's
Yeah.
like that home situation.
Yeah,
how
yeah,
people
yeah.
come in and out.
in,
Like,
yeah.
It's like a
Okay.
slight found family. If they ever need, maybe can come back and stay. If they don't want to, they can go
Yeah,
to wherever.
yeah, that's good.
Legal age, 18.
It's a hard job, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my mentality. Look, fair enough. I don't know the dark side of the system and
Yeah.
how kids are and what they're being through. And this is very naive of me saying, but I do want to do it one day.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. I mean, like that's the thing. The system works on altruism, right? And so, like, you know, the selection sample is that people who foster kids are doing it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? So, like, they would treat the kids well and make sure that their needs are like met. You know, there's always bad people out there, but like, it's a small number compared to the people who do it for good reasons.
So you guys wouldn't foster? Looking at your faces and thoughts, you never came across?
No, I think it's too much work, honestly.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't be able to emotionally deal with fostering a children, right? Like having multiple people come through. Like I think that's too much for me.
Okay, fair enough. No, I understand, but
Well, don't you think you have a little bit of savior complex? Sorry.
yeah, I know. We talked about it.
I know. But this is even more so coming out now.
I know. Yeah.
Oh.
The fact that you want to save kids. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Save kids and all that. And it doesn't help with the, teaching and all that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yikes.
it is.
But like, yeah, it's easy in a
It's easier said than done.
tutoring
Yeah.
environment. Whereas like if you bring like a traumatized kid into your home for whoever knows how long, right? You don't know they're your responsibility now. Like if they go and stab someone, like if they go and like rampage someone's house, right? That's on you.
Yeah, yeah.
Hurt people,
Right.
hurt people. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, no.
And that's something that I don't want to deal with. But
no,
if
fair
you want to
enough.
deal
make
with,
a
you
good
can.
point,
Yeah.
But yeah, in my mind, it's like, no, I would rather.
In saying that, I would adopt a kid though.
You would adopt a kid?
I would adopt a kid.
I think adoption over fostering.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
Just like the permanentness of that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I can deal with that. Like, right.
Yeah.
Okay, no, fair enough.
Like I think actually today, my partner and I we drew up a timeline about like what the next couple of years are going to look
Oh,
like.
wait, I want to hear about this later.
Didn't we have a timeline like run up or something?
And then like, you know, like when are we going to have kids and all this other stuff like that, you know. Basically, we want 2 kids, but I think by the time the second kid, it's time to have the second kid. Like she might be a little bit too old for that. And so adoption is like an option, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, there's always going to be an option, yeah, but yeah.
If it's a boy named Luke,
No.
shotgun.
No.
I call it shotgun.
Absolutely no.
Fair enough. What's wrong with Luke?
Dude, I love you, but like I'm not going to name my kid after you, bro. Like,
Damn. All right. Shotgun Godfather. No, I'm joking. Anyways,
Wait, how old is too old for Maurice?
well, the main sort of the usual mid-30s, you know what I mean? That's when like
I like when
genetic defects start like happening more frequently.
I feel like it's less frequent than people say it is, honestly.
I look same, but I'm also a guy. You know what I mean? Like I can't be like, oh nah, women, don't worry about it. It's all good. You know.
Okay, well, I'm saying as a
Okay,
woman,
so
I feel
Jenny
like
said.
there's a lot of like in our generation, there's a lot of parents that are like older and like they had us in like the late 30s.
We have like
in
screening
their late
tools
30s,
and all
yeah.
that sort of stuff as well. You know, so that is the tools that you can utilize to make your life easier. You know. But it also comes down to like, yes, now you know that information, but like,
Wait, but
you're gonna act on it.
yeah, but then I feel like having tools is like cheating the system a little bit.
Okay, well,
I don't know. It just feels weird. It just feels weird.
anyway.
so you would not use science to help you have a child?
Oh, we're going into this subject. Can we leave it till another day?
Yeah,
I've got
sure,
like
sure.
some very controversial opinions on
Oh, okay.
that.
Wow, really?
No,
Dude,
it's look. Okay, we're talking about it now, man. Okay, we're talking about it now.
Little peek.
Okay, no, it's just that I've always had a fear, like because, like, you know, in my body, I have like a long list of things that's wrong with my body, right? And that's one of my fears of having a kid. I don't want to pass any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I always look. I know it's gonna sound very hot topic, and we might get cancelled for this, but I always had a fear of my kid having Down syndrome. Right.
Yeah, that's a fear that you're allowed to have.
Yeah. And
It's a fear I also have.
if there was a option, like with DNA modifying to like find out if your kid will have Down syndrome,
that is a thing.
Yeah, I know,
That's
exactly. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it was given to me.
Yeah.
Like I'll take it.
I 100% agree with you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's,
Okay.
that's me.
Thanks. Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
people are allowed to make a different decision, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of gaming the system a little bit, but like at least you have the information. But then like that's different to like you can't then add the gene in that makes the kid not have Down syndrome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, now you have the information. You have to think, okay, do I continue or do I get rid of it? Right. And then that's still a decision that not all people come to easily.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, I guess it all comes down to the woman anyway.
Yeah.
It's not up to you
Yeah.
guys.
But like, just quickly, would you like, let's say, you know,
Look,
would you not check?
I thought about it. Yeah, I would check. I would definitely check.
Okay.
But
And
I
if
also
it's-
like don't really care. I mean, like,
So if the kid does have Down syndrome, would
look,
you bring it to term?
yeah, probably not.
Whichever answer is valid, right?
Yeah,
Like this
yeah,
is your
probably
thing, you know?
not.
It's your opinion, yeah.
But I just feel like there's also like a whole bunch of other like hereditary diseases that you can't even test for anyway.
I mean,
Okay,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
can reduce it by testing. But yeah, it just feels bad.
of course it feels bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then it's like a moment of badness versus, you know, a lifetime of like having to take care of someone
Yeah.
in a way that, you know, is difficult. You know
That's
what I mean?
right, yeah.
Like those are real
yeah,
things.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like, oof, we're talking about that on my podcast.
Yeah. Like you can be as altruistic as you want, but
Yeah.
if the foster kid comes in and like is cooked, 10 ways to Sunday. Like that's hard for you to deal with, right? But anyways, that's okay, cool.
Anyways, let's move on to a lighter topic. Okay. If you found out you have a half sibling out there and
Yeah, lighter topic.
sorry?
A lighter topic.
Yeah, why not? This is hypothetical this
Your
time.
parents, one of your parents cheated on the other parent. Like
I have a half
sorry.
sibling.
Oh, actually.
Yeah.
I think you said this.
Yeah, I have a
yeah.
half.
Okay, I know your parents are
Yeah.
divorced, but okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyways, so let's go with you, Jenny. If your half sibling was like, I need an organ, like, and you're a match, would you give it to?
Wait,
them?
can I ask about like the journey of discovery for that for you? Like, did you know off the bat?
Didn't your dad
Or
tell
is
you?
Yeah, my dad just told me. That's it.
No, okay. But I
Like,
didn't.
whether the history behind I don't
Yeah,
necessarily know.
Yeah, okay.
There's some. Yeah, I don't.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you met this person.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
I've never met them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, never met them.
Would you?
Probably not. Don't really care.
Fair enough. Are they in the show? Do you know?
I think so.
Okay.
Somewhere in Sydney. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Anyways, but yeah, if they came up to you and like, hey, I'm your half sibling. I need an organ. Would you say yes?
No.
No.
Yeah, nah.
What? Someone that I haven't known my whole life just randomly comes up to me.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly,
I need
right?
I need a kidney. You're gonna give me one? No.
Off, bro.
So and then I'm assuming with your intermediate family, you would say yes to, yes? So your mom, your dad. Because we went off attachment styles and you guys are off for crazy. Not off for crazy, but in like, these people are in that area.
Yeah.
Look, it depends on what organ they need.
Standard kidney. Standard kidney? Yeah. Because regardless, kidney, you do have to worry about you. I've heard podcasts where it's like, even a kidney, yes, you can function on one.
Yeah,
but
it's
still a lot
different,
of maintenance.
Yeah, it's forever. You know what I mean? You can't just like
No drinking with
do
me
normal
anymore. I'm joking. But yes, for you two.
Drink with you. My father's surviving. Which is. But she's drinking. I sound like a dick, right?
See you out there. No, I'm joking.
Oh man,
Oh, look, I'd probably be the last resort.
Really?
I wouldn't be like.
Oh, you would be like, explore other options,
yeah,
get
yeah.
onto the list.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
check it,
exactly.
and then-
Before coming to me as a last resort.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be like, first resort, yeah, take it. I wouldn't voluntarily be like, yeah, take it.
yeah, no, that's true. But is that because like your mother won't put you through that? Like she.
Yeah, I was
won't-
going to ask, like do you think your parents would put you through that?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, nah.
All right. But yeah, Viv, your turn. Actually, on the chart, I don't know if you guys recall, who was what higher? Was your one higher than Jenny's?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
We'll go back to that episode and recap. Anyways, yes.
Okay.
I'll say this. He has to demonstrate to me in this time of my life that he deserves that kidney.
Sorry,
Ooh.
a sitcom moment popped into my head and it's like, give me a hug, and then I'll give it to you. And he's like struggling to get close to you, hugging, as if that's killing him or something. Sorry, I just popped into my head.
Yeah, okay, sure.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, not negating the sacrifices that he made when we were younger and stuff like that, but I'd
What would
say-
be sufficient enough?
That's a big question for another
Yeah,
time.
you
I
wouldn't
think
even. Yeah,
yeah,
you wouldn't even know
curious.
where to begin, really.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's
because we're talking like it's been.
Don't forget, it's this year's New Year resolutions. So
Yeah,
if you
no
could have it
leeway.
on, yeah.
It's like let's say it's been about a decade. You know what I mean? Since that effort has been put in. So like if you asked me when I was like 17 or something, then like maybe sure. But like now it's like you gotta show me like
Okay.
why
Okay.
because I'm up my life forever, and you already fucked up my life forever. So why should I do that twice? that's me.
Fair enough.
would you?
Yeah,
I would.
You would?
Oh, really?
Still would. I think it's still an obligation thing, and just like it's and then it's just like brava is there as well, and then I don't know, And
But you
I
do
feel
have
like
a-
about
You just feel obligated to do it. Like
obligation
just-
from
It's not like, oh, I want to do it.
yeah. I think it's obligation. If anything, I'll do it out of obligation. But maybe
Purely.
purely obligation.
Would you not feel spite?
No.
Oh.
But then it's not. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not mutually exclusive, but that's interesting.
Yeah. It's more like, look, you gave me this life. Like, at least I could do is extend your life a little bit longer, kind of deal. Yeah. That does sound a bit like I shouldn't think that way. It's like, it doesn't mean that, like, my entire life is dedicated for them and to saving them and prolonging them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that, but it's just, and I guess it's like an internal blood thing, literally, which is disgusting.
Yeah, it's that
But
obligation, right? It's that,
exactly.
I hate that when like they like, oh, I give you this life, you should be giving this to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I hate that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how I feel. I was like, look, they came and asked for an organ. Yeah, not to sell. Literally, I wanted my eyes there, seeing my kidney into their body. Okay, yeah, sure. But not like some loan shark. Oh, I need $1 million. Give me your kidney to sell. No. Yeah,
I hope it doesn't get that bad.
yeah. But that's my take on it.
Yeah, okay. Like, let's say they asked you and your brother. Would you put your hand up first?
Ooh, spicy.
Sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
Actually,
I would put my hand up first.
just because you like, do you think your brother wouldn't, or like,
I think he would,
Huh.
but I think that
wow, you'd still fuck up your body, or like,
I think that look, like I said,
oh wait, or do you think like it feels bad for your brother, so I'll do it, that kind of.
yeah, is it your relationship with your brother that you're honoring or your relationship with your parents?
both, yeah, both. We'll go with both. It's because like I as well like going back like recapping the previous episodes like he dealt with a lot of the
Yeah, okay.
first
The brunt.
kid brother all the kid stuff as well.
Yeah, older sibling,
like
yeah.
and all that, like protecting my younger sibling and all that. So that also feels like, and he's dealt with that much with my parents already. So it's like, okay, it's my turn to kind of like step up.
Wow. Stepping up with an organ is a different degree of stepping up, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Good on you. Good on you. Better than both of us.
But yeah, that's just how I feel. Yeah. Yeah.
Does the parent matter to either one of you guys?
Well, they're all the same area on my one.
Yeah,
so-
I think yours is.
So your
what about
one's
you?
gonna, I bet.
No.
No?
Nah?
No?
Okay.
I would still
Your mum?
get my dad to put on. Like I would be the last resort.
I'm assuming your mum?
I think she would be more worthy, but I don't think I'd still do it.
Okay.
I don't think she'd take it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. From what
She
you said, it
doesn't
sounds
take like
she
my
wouldn't-
Christmas presents, let alone like a fucking kidney. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Agree.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Good one. Okay.
Wait, so does that mean your parents would like just take your kidney?
Or would you
Like,
make
do-
them go
like-
through the list first, the transplant
Yeah.
list first?
Do you think your parents?
Okay. Honestly, I can just imagine them. It's like them pouting about it, and then it just be an awkward silence, and then it's like, all
Oh
right,
my god,
Wow.
bro, this is different. What?
Wow.
So, okay, do you think that they would literally walk up to you and
no.
ask for a kidney?
Oh, like again, probably last resort.
yeah, okay,
But I can picture worse. I can picture worse. Yeah.
fair enough. Interesting. Okay.
But yes, that's my take on it.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, that's allowed. Yeah.
Move on to the next hypothetical. If the world was about to end, if you could pick one family and one friend to be there in your last moments, who would it be?
Oh. No family, just friends.
No family, just friends?
Oh, okay. I mean, my partner. Does that count as fan family? That's the thing.
Not until you get the ring on the
Oh my
finger.
God. Well, the ring is already on the finger.
The other ring.
Yeah.
the other
All right. I want a signed legal document.
Oh my god. So, no, she doesn't count. Does she count?
She doesn't?
Surely, because if
She's part of your fan family because she's a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
that individual. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, she's there. And then, yeah, I get sick of it pretty quickly. But yeah, my mum, I guess. Like, yeah. It's just-
For me, yeah. If I could pick two, I would, but I can't pick with two friends. Although Daniel, definitely Daniel.
Okay.
And
Congrats,
Wait, are we
Daniel.
naming people? I didn't realize. I thought we were
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
picking
Oh,
one.
we're here.
I don't know if they've seen Daniel by now, but yeah, and
No, name
I've
the
brought
people,
Daniel
Jenny.
like so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Name the people.
Oh yeah, Julian.
Okay. Hapana. Yeah. Hapana.
Yeah. Well, for a second, we were like testing.
Who's the second person? Does the second do you have to get along as a unit? You know what I mean? Like that's
It's
interesting.
great. It's like whoever you feel comfortable.
Oh, just individually, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
individually, yeah.
Okay.
You mean all three of us are just gonna go to?
But like
How crazy if I said Julian at this moment. Anyway, sorry.
I also choose a boyfriend.
Oh God. Anyways, but family wise, I don't know. I'm like selecting one of my cousins right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unfair. I don't
They're
have
my
cousins.
family. Haha, I got backups. Yeah, I don't know. Any of my
uncle,
cousins.
the aunt that you like?
Do you have any cousins here, Boo?
Yeah, on my dad's side mainly.
okay.
On my mom's side, they're all in Germany.
Okay. But yes, I don't know. Just name a cousin and I'm happy with it.
No, name a cousin, bro. They have to know they're special compared to the other cousins. I want to cause chaos.
Damn, I'm tossing up between two right now. Which is weird. Okay. Okay, I'm going to say it just so they know that we're in between, and then I'll just pick one out of the two so they can know but understanding
It's
it.
okay. The rest know their so that's fine.
It will be either my cousin Tommy or one of my cousins, V, who I call Moy. Yeah.
Okay.
Her sister is also named V.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So everyone that is not Tommy or Moy feel bad.
Yes.
And then which one out of those two
Would
you choose?
As of late, I would say Tommy because I have been seeing him more recently
Okay.
than my other cousin. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Luke likes Tommy more than you, Moy. So
Shut up.
I can hear her saying, "What the F?" Oh my God, I'm going to message him right now. But anyways, yeah, that's just my take on it. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, on to the next point. How do you guys handle with found family conflict? This is going to be hard because we don't really have one. So, Vu, back when you guys were literally living together, how did you deal with like found family conflict? Was there any at all?
yeah. I mean, plenty. At that
Plenty.
Yeah, 'cause,
Why is there so much conflict?
because like at that point you'd never lived on your own before, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And so you're always living with your parents, and then now you're living on your own for the first time. You're learning the things that you know how to do, the things that your friends don't know how to do. Like I never did the washing before I moved out, and so I had to learn to do that. And you can't, rely on one person to do that all the time because they just get annoyed, right? So eventually you have to be a complete individual and know how to do all that stuff. And it's also just like learning the quirks of your friend. Because, like, have you ever lived with your friend before, right? Like, that's the different
Yeah.
thing. And if anything, like, the argument can always stand as, like, conflict with your biological family can stem from the fact that you're sharing so much time and space together, right? And so that's when you get annoyed. And so with your found family, yes, you agree emotionally on a lot of things and are united in a particular front. But then that's different to, let's say your found family bringing their partner home and, being too loud or messy like that. It's just a different thing. And so the way to deal with that is just communication. You just sit down and have like a real honest, frank communication. Like people are going to be sad, people are going to be hurt. But then like you can't just let it sit and fester.
Has there been a moment where it got to breaking point?
No, never breaking point. I think we did. I think in the initial 3 to 6 months, we had like a weekly meeting. Like,
Cute.
yeah, like it would be just a day when you sit down. It's like, hey, how's it going? Is there anything that we want to talk about?
Yeah.
Is everyone?
I was
okay?
I was
You know?
imagining like survival style. Everyone has a torch. It's like, who are we evicting tonight?
I mean, we like at that time we usually are all together anyways. But it's like the point of that conversation was to bring up anything that anyone was annoyed at, anything that we want to work on, stuff like that. And so I think in a found family situation where you're living with each other, that's very useful, providing a space where this is the time to talk about this, so you can emotionally prepare for that, you know.
Okay.
And that like any discussion that might be uncomfortable doesn't come from a bad place, but just from a place of like, this is what I need in order to be comfortable living in this space, right?
Okay.
And like I know that I wasn't comfortable with this because my biological family did X, Y, and Z. So it would be best if like I can help or ask my friend to not do that, so I can be more comfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Jenny, did you want to go? Or no?
Go on what?
Or like your idea of like how to resolve found family
I don't
conflict?
have.
Yeah.
Don't have any conflict. Nor a fan family.
Conflict like the plague, bro.
So this is the thing. Like this is one of my fears of having a found family as well. Is because like I told you guys, I see a part of myself in each of you guys. So it kind of like I think I can imagine like psychologically it will be like F me up. Like, oh, I see part of myself in you guys. If you guys fight with each other, what does that say about myself? Again, that's stupid and irrational, but a part of that has like been rolling in my head ever since like high school. And that's sometimes like when I try to introduce other people to other people, that's what I kind of scared about. It's like, oh, what if I don't like each other and all that? And I understand it's like, yeah, neutrality is a whole thing. They're not going to put me in that situation. But yeah, that's just my fear, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it's normal.
And-
Yeah, but it is normal, and like with all like people breaking up and all that stuff, that's and like those who know relationships through me and all that I'm breaking up, that's a common thing to happen. Yeah, and I have to deal with it. But yeah, that's just my thing. Like that's what I'm afraid of having a like legit found family.
That they would have conflict.
Like it gets to like that's why I said breaking point. So I'm afraid that it'll get to a point where it's a breaking point, and then all the relationships, because again, I said found family is all interconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if one breaks, and it's like, oh, we have to choose sides, or this and that.
But you'll have a good time before the breaking point, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know.
So why operate under the
exactly.
assumption that there will be a breaking point?
That
Right?
is true.
Just be nice until then.
Yeah. All right, good point. Anyone wanted to add on?
I mean, in saying that, like, actually, no. I will say that in the next point. That's fine. You continue.
Okay, so there's a new point that I wanted to talk about because this is probably the last point before we go into concluding question, unless we want to go to yours. But anyway, I saw this video literally like 10 minutes before you guys came here, and it was like, damn, this is completely 100% right. But anyway, it was on Instagram and it was on my For You page. But a girl was like, guys, we gotta make casual hangouts a thing. We can't keep doing these monthly catch-ups with your found family. And I'm like, that isn't found family. It's like if you have to arrange a month in advance or even 2 months in advance just to hang out once and just to like catch up, that to me isn't found family. Like a found family would be regular catching up, like, oh, hey, what do you want to do? Maybe this is like a guy version of it and the girls do a different way of it. But fair enough, yes, we all have busy lives. But I want to have a found family who's like, hey, you guys, who wants to go to the beach? And we're like, yeah, let's all go to the beach rather than planning ahead. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Availability, right?
Yeah,
Like,
availability.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like when you also said that your found family hasn't hung out in how long?
In maybe a year or so?
Year or so.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
That is alongside. Do you have any plans to catch up?
After this, yeah. I mean, nothing solid, but the whys of it I'll touch on in a bit. But yeah, no
Not
solid
including
plans.
the wedding.
No, like yeah,
The
hopefully.
wedding's 2 years away.
Yeah, there's a while.
That's 3 years in total.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm
that's
making
a while
sure. Not including my wedding.
But yeah, the whys of it I'll go into. But yeah,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
but like okay, yeah, I kind of disagree with that. I don't know
But like, who has the time to just?
That is true.
That's what I'm saying,
That is
man.
true. But as any sitcom has shown us, you have time. But that also goes to the fact, I hate that saying where it's like, oh, if you really care about someone, you would do everything to catch up with them.
Yeah, or you make the time or whatever.
Yeah, you
Sometimes
make
you
the time.
can't, bro. You know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
we live in end stage capitalism. I'm sorry, I hate to keep going on this. Actually, I love to keep going on this, but it's just like the corporations like that don't give a if you like want friends or need to hang out with your friends, you know. And so like being busy is a real thing that just happens these days, you know. Like, and going out and like doing things is also expensive, right? Like, when was the last time you head out to a club and like had a night out? Like, that wasn't $150 minimum, you know? What I'm
Next
saying?
week. I'll let you know.
In the bars, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Are you
Like,
going out next week?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
But it's like it's
Yeah.
just expensive
Wanna
to like head out, right? And
Yeah.
like do like it's like not feasible for a lot of people as well. Mm-hmm. And not to mention, I think in general, well, because of that, people are less likely to go out and get up and you know do a bunch of stuff. But it's just there's a lot of factors that come in with not being immediately available to like do this thing. You know.
Okay.
I speak as someone who did shift work for like, you know, 6 years of my adult life.
Yeah.
And like, I can't just be like, oh, after work drinks, you know what I mean? Because I'm working until like 10 p.m.
I want to do that one day after work.
Shift work. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did that yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice. You work a corporate job. And if you're in the city when you
Yeah,
want to be,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
just live the,
Well, I was hanging out with a coworker, but yeah.
yeah, living the dream, right? But like my situation.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Wait, last thing before we actually end. Found family at work. Do you guys have one?
Oh, no.
No?
Just like work friends.
Yeah, work
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
I'm curious because I know some people who like literally find family, like have a found family and stem from that and all that, which is interesting. I'm like, good on you. You found something through work, which is a plus, meaning that you're happy at work. And
Or that person makes them
Well,
happy.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's that
different.
person.
yeah, okay. But yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's just a thing. But anyways,
Yeah, just to my point about like the found family not hanging out for a year. Like it's interesting because like I'm like of a mind that like friendships can fade, like people can fade in and out of your life, and it's okay. Like it's like not loved loss. You know what I mean?
yeah, we talked about this.
We did talk about this.
Yeah.
And in essence as well, I think like reflecting on that friendship group and that found family, I think we're at a point in our lives right now, me and that group, where I guess kind of like a normal family, you sort of evolve and grow to become something different that you then can't, like staying together is hard, you know? Mm-hmm. Like I matured and now I'm 18 and I'm going out into the world. Mm-hmm. And then the pathways that we found ourselves on are just like different.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah, and then we don't see each other, but then like that sort of history is still there.
Yeah.
And so if we do hang out, like I'm sure that history will come back, but it's not like because our values and our goals are a lot different now. Yeah.
And you end up being together at least for the important moments.
Yeah, definitely when we needed each other,
Yeah.
you know. And now that we feel like we need each other less, which sounds sad, but it's also like we're in a better place now because of those moments, right?
Okay, yeah.
That we can go out and do and explore those things that are more solidified in ourselves now that we know each other more, you know.
Yeah, okay.
But that's me. I could be wrong. They could want nothing to do with me. So who knows?
So with that group, do you feel like they'll feel the same way about you? Like as a found family?
I honestly think so. I think a lot of people are very shy about reaching out to hang out. You know what I mean? Just in general. Like you like if I'm sure you have a friend in your life that's like, oh, I would really love to hang out with them, but you kind of for whatever reason don't reach out.
Yeah.
You know.
Struggling with that right now.
Yeah. So I think in general there's like a lot of that going around. But the feeling is still there. And so like even though I feel that I have that for them, I'm a little bit hesitant to reach out to like know exactly how different we are now. Like for example, I am a little lefty bitch, but like they are deep into that side of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Going to protests every weekend type stuff, right? And in essence, I'm the one that kind of sold out and went a little bit corporate, but like it's still rebellious in a little bit of a way. But seeing each other now at this age and like confirming how different we are is a little bit scary. But the feeling, the history is still.
Just do it.
Yeah, I know. It's just it's a hard barrier to sort of like break, but it is there. Like recently, I had a mate as well who we were really close in high school. Haven't hung out in a while, and he is also like thinking of proposing to his girlfriend. He's doing that today, actually.
Oh my gosh.
I think like right
Good
now.
for him.
This is
Yeah.
dedicated to you. I don't know your name yet, but yeah.
And it was like I was thinking about like getting engaged, and then like who would come to the wedding, and then he was just like, oh, there's all these people that I like would want to invite, but I haven't hung out in a while, and like he reached out. It's like it's kind of the same thing, you know.
Oh, that's nice of him.
Is he invited back?
Sorry,
Are you inviting him now?
I mean, yeah. But you know that it's part of
okay.
that whole thing. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
at least you know that feeling, that hesitancy is shared, but the feelings exist. If that hesitancy exists, then I'm sure the feeling is there too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like a reciprocated feeling.
As a reciprocated feeling.
Yeah. It's just your own anxiety that's talking.
Yeah, yeah. And if you reach out and then they don't reply, then you know it's not reciprocated. Then you can just move on with your life. You know what I mean? Like,
Why wouldn't
that's
they
also
reply
valid.
to you? That's weird.
But that's
Okay.
also valid. You know what I mean? Like
They won't reply, or they're busy, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
stuff
well,
like-
they should at least say I'm busy rather than not replying.
Yeah.
I guess.
True,
yeah.
true.
But that's my take.
Fair enough. All right, let's go to a concluding question. What advice would you give to our audience members who are thinking about making their own found family?
Do it.
Do it. Just do it.
Well, you guys want to, right? What's
What's the criteria that we have? Ooh,
yeah?
that's a good one.
What's criteria or what's stopping
What's
you
the
guys?
criteria? Damn. I'll set up for it, but now I don't even know. Look, find, as long as you know you feel safe, all right, I guess, I shouldn't be saying this because I'm not even taking my advice, but like, look, just hope that finding your found family, okay, as long as they accept you, okay, and you accept each one of them, then look, go for it. You never know until you try, okay? You waste, 100 opportunities if you don't try in the first place, right?
Yeah, I think I've heard that. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Miss 100% of your shots you don't
Yeah,
take.
yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Thank you. At least one of us knows. Thank you. But yeah, that's just my thoughts, which I shall now try to take on.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
So take a shot, man. Take a shot.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Look in the mirror and take a shot.
anyway.
Is that meme?
yeah.
It's that meme now. Anyways, Jetty, you're up.
Well, yeah, I think. Well, first of all, I feel like I need to find more friends that I feel like I could be more safe with, or feel like they could be more of a found family thing.
That's hard,
So, like,
though.
even today, I reached out for like one of Julian's friends' girlfriends. I was like, "Hey, do you want to hang out? Like, when are you free for lunch?"
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't ever do that. It would just be like, "Oh, someone's birthday," and then we'd hang out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm starting.
That's good.
Baby
Yeah,
steps.
yeah,
Baby
yeah,
steps.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But was that like that's hard? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's good.
meeting up with someone is one thing.
Yeah.
Finding
I think
out
it's
whether or not
it's like to do with your point, like, oh, you're shy to like
Yeah.
engage in that or initiate that conversation of, hey, I want to hang out with you. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've done that today. Just
good.
yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Proud of you. Very good. I think that's good advice for the individual. I think I would suggest if you're looking to find like collective, I think this might be difficult, like if you're not used to putting yourself out there, but you can sort of find out what your passion is, right?
Yeah.
Something that you're passionate about, and then like go out and volunteer or do something that's in that passion.
Yeah.
Because honestly, a lot of the time, what you might find out is that like it's a selection bias, right?
Actually, I was
Yeah.
thinking about that today and like how, well, during this podcast, like how I would be able to do that. And like, I think gaming is a good community. as
Yeah,
well,
yeah, exactly.
Like nowadays.
Like people who game, right, are like usually share the same traits
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
do the same things.
Yeah.
And so like, okay, you're passionate about this, so like your peripheral interests are pretty similar.
Yeah.
And so you
Listen
know,
to our social circle episode, you guys. Expanding social circles. Yeah. This will be the guy.
early days, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like find something that you're passionate about, and you probably most likely find that the people doing that share a lot of interests and hobbies as you do. And then if you find a group, then they can slot you in pretty easily. But that's an easy way to find a
No,
collective.
that's pretty good. Yeah. Good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our episode on Found Family. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.